Hello, and welcome to the show. It's Wrestling with Entertainment, the only audio experience on the web today, the trusted choice for interviewing all your favorite wrestlers every Tuesday and Wednesday, previewing and reviewing the latest shows from WWE, AEW, New Japan, and everything in between every Saturday on YouTube and Castbox, sponsored by Rogue Energy and Player One Coffee. I'm, of course, your host, James J., alongside Kaliko Yachts.
I guess I was supposed to look for something earlier, but I guess I couldn't find it, which is some sense.
And it's a good day for Wrestling With, as last week on the show we interviewed referee DC and Jay Alexander. Two incredible interviews. Definitely go into the archives and check them out if you haven't already. But always looking to the future. We have two new interviews coming up this Tuesday and Wednesday. This Tuesday we have Verdugo on the show from Dog Pound Pro Wrestling. Dog Pound Championship Wrestling, I should say. We talk about his name, becoming the pound for pound champion, anxiety in pro wrestling, tattoos, wrestling some high profile names from NWA, and a hell of a lot more. So definitely check that out on Tuesday. And then this upcoming Wednesday, we have the return of Erica Damia, our second interview with her. The last time we talked to her, she only had one match under her belt. Well, she's had a hell of a lot more matches since then. She's won 4 championships and been in the ring with the likes of Masha Slamovich, Lindsay Snow, Priscilla Kelly, and a hell of a lot more. And we go all into that, excuse me, including a match against her father. Of course, it wouldn't be an interview without talking, some My Hero Academia with Eric Academia. So yeah, definitely a fun interview. But don't take my word for it. Here's some clips now.
Soda Pop and I were driving or we're coming back from Amarillo overnight, and I mean, we watched all 3 How to Train Your Dragon movies while I kept on swerving and everything because I wouldn't keep my eyes on the road. That's probably like the only thing. he would just keep on getting mad at me because I kept on watching the movie instead of focusing on the road. But I mean, other than that, I don't really think that there's anything too crazy that's happened on the road because I'm either asleep or I'm the one that's driving, so I make sure that nothing crazy happens.
I was walking through the airport and I heard this little girl go, "Mom, she has green hair." And I'm like walking and I'm like, "Yeah, I do." And then she goes, "I don't like that color." And I was like, "Oh, okay. Thanks, dude." And her mom went, "Dude, what's wrong with you? Don't say that."
Oh my
And
god!
I just started laughing and I was like, what am I going to do now?
And then on the 16th, we have Xavier Gotti on the show. So things looking up as we continue down in September. Alright, I think we're done putting ourselves over. No, Kaliko?
I never done put ourselves over. I mean, if it's up, we up higher than Cardi B's album.
If it's up, then it's up, then it's up, and it's up. Which is a Cardi B
Oh,
song.
God. Ooh. I set myself up for that.
It was a great day for wrestling because we are wrestling with the news. And the biggest news article you'll hear all week is last night on SmackDown. Excuse me. AJ Lee made her triumphant return to WWE after more than a decade. Definitely a big moment in pro wrestling. And honestly, I'm excited for it. haven't seen her for quite some time. Obviously there's been a lot of rumor and innuendos this last couple of this last week in general. Um, I was skeptical until proven. And show me, show me the proof, and I'll believe it. At one point I just felt like it wasn't going to be AJ Lee, and they were just going to bring back Cora Jade, and like it would be a wet fart or something.
Really, Cora Jade?
I, I don't know, but
Why would Cora? You only go wife for wife. You don't go wife for mistress. I mean, just joking. Just jokes. Just jokes. Just jokes. Oh.
no, but I didn't know because AJ Lee hasn't been in a wrestling ring for like well over a decade, and like there's never been like rumor and innuendo between now and then that she was gonna make a return, that she was close to signing something. When she said that she was gonna stay away, like she committed to that. She stayed away.
Yeah. I mean, that's just her. I mean, that's just how she operates. But keep in mind, she stayed away because of me personally. I think it was due to loyalty to the Punk situation. If I had my 2 cents on it, I would have put it on that.
If that was true, she would have done something with AEW, won't she?
No, not necessarily, because I don't think I think AJ, her legacy has already kind of been set in a sense in WWE, where she didn't need AEW.
I mean, very true. Well, I mean, it's all but confirmed. WrestlePalooza set in Becky versus AJ Lee and CM Punk. Um, AJ Lee's first match since 2014. So yeah. Um, do you see this as a one-off, or do you actually see this being something that could, be more for AJ?
Um, it, it's tricky because AJ only came for one reason and one reason only, which
Right.
is her husband, which makes the most sense of most senses, right? So we will see. It just kind of keeps everything buzzing until these two fight at 42. Because in my mind, Jesus, yeah, 42, yeah. So 42, because I think they're going to main event 42. Punk Rollins Heavyweight Championship.
Um, that is still up for debate at this point. But,
I don't think so, because that was the initial. That was the initial plan last year.
yes, but there's two things that come into play for that. The first one being that the problems between Punk and Rollins don't revolve around the championship. And the second thing is there is this guy that's kind of coming up and, is probably the closest he's ever been to the World Championship, and that is a one LA Knight. Yeah.
I still don't see it. Well, I'm gonna put it this way, because the championship is just on the back burner until it gets to prime focus. Because keep in mind, none of this would have happened had it been for the championship.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
Punk is gonna aim to get it back. That's just me. If I were putting my 2 cents on it, my money, it's going to be Seth Punk Mania setting it up, and all of these things are just roadblocks to make it more personal.
True. But, just going back to AJ Lee, obviously a really big moment, and on SmackDown, I popped for it for sure. Well,
I spit out my Minute Maid juice.
you spit out the juice.
Couldn't bring the juice, ooze. Yeah, didn't. Well, the adult version, not the kid version.
It's non-PG juice, ooze.
But it is so goddamn good, ooze.
I can definitely understand where this is a big match for, AJ Lee. They made it worth her while. It's not just, some random match. Obviously Becky Lynch is literally the biggest star in WWE.
And I don't think they ever fought.
Correct. And she's going up against obviously Seth Rollins, who is obviously one of the bigger wrestlers that the company has as well. Also World Heavyweight Champion. And obviously she gets the team with her husband, which is an added, bonus to all of that. So I think all of the chips kind of aligned for her when it comes to, high profile. After this, I think it's a good way to test the waters. Because, if she does actually pin Becky, or just, hold on. If she wins, if she does happen to win the match with Becky, I mean, it kind of puts her in line for, an Intercontinental Championship match. I mean, it doesn't...
Possibly.
I mean, it doesn't mean that she necessarily needs a title, but, I would say that the title would need, a high-profile name like an AJ Lee to go after it at one point to say... And, I'll definitely say this. That Intercontinental Championship is getting a lot more love than the United States Championship is.
I know, poor Julia.
Yeah. But, I mean, we could definitely see a lot of dream matches because AJ, like you said, she dipped out before most of these girls made it to the main roster. Becky, Bayley, Charlotte, we're not going to see Sasha.
When Sasha was there. I mean, yeah, when Sasha was there. But even then, you got to think that next wave, which is Rhea, Io, Bianca, now you got Roxanne. Yeah, she is a plethora of people, but the question is that we have to see based on how this match comes out, whether it's a one-off or not.
Right.
I personally would think it would be kind of a one-off because other than this, there's no reason for her unless she just catches the bug big time.
Right. I know, Roxanne...
Right, big time.
I know Roxanne has crazy been pushing for a match against AJ Lee as well.
But she looks at Roxanne like her daughter, so it would be like, eh.
I mean, it's not. There has been mother-daughter, matches in the past. I believe Amazing Maria and Hilly J wrestled each other.
True. I'm just trying to see. I know, right? I'm just looking down the line, trying to figure out what's the after this. What is her why, right? Because this is her why.
Right.
So what would be the why coming back, other than the fact that I assume some other chick interferes, thus causing her to have to stay. Like that's what I'm just trying to get that why out the way.
The other, you know, I know this sounds crazy to want, considering there's so many matches that she hasn't had. I won't say no to one more match between AJ and Paige. Obviously,
Ooh, you're gonna have to ask for Paige. You gotta ask for Paige to come back.
because Soraya,
Maybe if they can do it right.
you know, Soraya, she's not currently working for any pro wrestling right now. So it's not like she can come back for a match, and I could make the argument that she didn't leave WWE too long after AJ, and that was kind of her defining, moment was against AJ, and then she kind of got lost in the shuffle. Um, you know, um, Personal issues and demons notwithstanding. So it would be like a nice little way to kind of put a bow on that, incredible rivalry that really set that made that made women's wrestling what it is today back then, if that makes sense.
What do you mean, like AJ Lee and Paige? Oh, I can name a couple more matches that made it before AJ Lee and Paige, but that's a whole nother argument.
We'll drop them if you have,
Uh, Paige and Emma, um,
that was NXT.
Charlotte. That's yeah. I mean, but that honestly kind of juxtaposed the whole thing. That kind of offset everything, to be quite honest.
But I'm talking about the main roster because literally, like in one night, AJ Lee defeated the whole women's division in one match at WrestleMania. Paige came the next night. She beat AJ, and for the first time in quite some time before that, we got two women's wrestlers that had a that had legitimate wrestling matches against each other, which we didn't, which was a kind of far cry from what we were getting with the women's the Divas division at that time.
I mean, I get that sentiment, but nothing was kind of set in stone until 32. So until until the three of the four horsewomen showed up, it really wasn't popping.
True, but it was the catalyst that started all of that.
I mean, it could because I think the Paige Emma match made people want Paige to go to the roster.
Yeah, and not discounting NXT, but it was NXT. Wasn't the isn't the main roster. Still isn't the main roster. So
It isn't. It isn't. It just kind of showed, but that match kind of put people on game to it.
right, but the the rivalry between Paige uh and uh and AJ Lee was what made casuals actually kind of see women can actually have legitimate matches. But that's just
I
my
get that, but I get that. I just think that she just probably saw that as her one torch passing moment and dipped.
right. And also keep in mind the women's revolution one half started unless AJ tweeted at Stephanie McMahon, you say that you support women's wrestling, but you only give us 30 seconds on a given Monday night. Give women's wrestling a chance. And then, like 2 weeks later, Becky, Charlotte, and Sasha made their debut. So I mean, she did spark.
Who's to say that wasn't a setup, though? Because why would they be like, "Oh, we want women's wrestling"? Well, we just in time because we got a whole crop of people waiting for you.
um, but also keep in mind the week before that, what sparked that conversation was that the Bella Twins had a 30-second match on Raw. So, I mean, if Becky and Charlotte came on the main roster, who's to say they wasn't going to have 10 to 30-second matches if that didn't happen?
Yeah, true. I mean, I get AJ kind of was the catalyst, but if she really kind of wanted to stick to that gun, she would have stayed. I told you, personally, I think she just left because of the whole Punk thing and just stayed being a martyr. She left being the star that kind of like Aang and what's that show? Naruto? Started some shit, dipped out. Yes.
Are you talking about Avatar: The Last Airbender?
There we go. See, I'm horrible with anime. Don't mind me. Dragon Ball Z, that's all I knew. But anyway.
Are you...
But she started some stuff. She started some stuff and dipped. There you go.
I guess so. Well, it is interesting to see what comes of this. If it's 1-for-1 match, that's great. If it's for longer, it's even better. Talking about dream matches, maybe not even a dream match, but a match we never knew we always wanted. Post Malone, has more or less called Seth Rollins out, wanting a match against him at WrestleMania 42. Post Malone was in the crowd in Paris with Jelly Roll, because why wouldn't he be? He said that he thinks that there's some beef between him and Seth right now, and he thinks that they should settle it in the ring, and for somebody to book it at WrestleMania 42. While I don't think that we're going to see Post Malone versus Seth Rollins at WrestleMania, I mean, I do feel like there is a very good possibility we will see Post Malone in a WWE ring sooner rather than later. What say you, Kaliko?
Man, nah, that Liquid Courage had Post Malone thinking he can do it. Plus, he was next to Jelly Roll. Jelly Roll's like, "Oh man, this is amazing, man. Go up in there in that ring, man. Hit that moonsault, bing bang boom, man." And next thing you know, he thinks he could do it, but he was drunk as a skunk, so it didn't even matter.
I mean, does it matter if he's drunk in the match or not? If that's what gives him the courage to get his ass in there.
You saw what happened with Jeff Hardy under the influence.
Different poison, but I get what you mean.
Same result.
I get what you mean.
Be a crash test dummy out of there.
But if I will say this: I would say that Post Malone is probably a bigger name than Jelly Roll, but maybe not as big of a name as Bad Bunny. Would you agree with that?
Ooh. 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 That's tough. Uh, Post Malone has songs with Beyonce and Taylor Swift, so Post Malone might be. Jelly Roll's big because he's hiding country now. Post Malone is big mainly because of the crossover star. He started off as a rap dude that became a country-esque type dude, kind of like the Kid Rock way. Bad Bunny is probably the biggest Spanish star on the planet and probably outshines them all when it comes to the music space because reggaeton is so in. Country is up there, but the world vibe is Afrobeats and reggaeton.
So what's the definitive answer here?
Bad Bunny higher than you had it right. Post Malone bigger than Jelly Roll, but none of them bigger than Bad Bunny.
Okay. So you could agree that it would probably be a big deal if Post Malone would actually get in a pro wrestling ring.
But I don't see Post Malone putting in that work like Jelly Roll.
I mean, would you have thought that Jelly Roll would have put in that work?
I have sources that showed me tapes of him putting in that work. Yeah, he was putting in that work.
No, but
It was ugly. It was ugly, but he was putting.
No, what I mean is if somebody told you Jelly Roll is going to be training for a WWE match, would you think that he would actually put in the work that he actually did?
Yeah, he had to. He ain't walking around with that weight in the ring. Prime example, on my channel, I have when he first got in the ring in chokeslam. Look at him then and look at him now.
Right. But, I do feel like a lot of that actually goes back to, like I was saying like I said with AJ Lee, patient zero, so to speak. Bad Bunny. Nobody expected Bad Bunny to do the shit that he did in that match. And his first match was so much better than it ever needed to be for that type of star that he is. And he set the bar that, celebrities look at that are coming in and have to tell themselves, well, if that's the bar, I either need to get somewhere near close to it or not do it at all. Does that kind of make sense?
It makes sense, although keep in mind who is the celebrity standard before Bad Bunny?
That's a good question.
I know who it was, but
Bob Barker?
who?
Bob Barker?
Oh Jesus, no.
Not the football guy. What is his name?
Oh, Lawrence Taylor? Jesus Christ, no.
I feel like I'm missing like a really big name here.
I mean, it wasn't. I mean, he was a name, but he wasn't like a household name.
I mean, did you have a name in particular?
Oh yeah, Stephen Amell.
Oh yeah. Actually, I completely forgot that he wrestled Chris Daniels at the original All In, and
He was the bar. He was the bar.
that's right. He actually did put the work in. But
he was the bar. Bad Bunny just became the bigger bar because Bad Bunny became the biggest bar because he's just the biggest star on the planet, and he used that to catapult. See, that's the other thing too, because Jelly Roll is doing that in the middle of his world tour. Bad Bunny used that to catapult his world tour, no. Jelly Roll's in the middle of a city tour, like a country tour. Bad Bunny used that to set up a world tour.
Right, because obviously.
So think of that. He Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, used that to set up a tour, and then ended up main eventing. I don't think there'll ever be another celebrity that will ever top Bad Bunny in wrestling, period. To have a match in Puerto Rico, main eventing, that's the bar.
Well, that does beg the question. I mean, Logan Paul at this point. Do we consider him a celebrity guest, or is he grandfathered in as a part of WWE?
Oh no, he's a part.
Yeah.
It's different. He is a wrestler. I mean, he said it himself.
Right, I agree. So, if Post Malone does come to do a match, I mean, who would he be wrestling? I kind of feel like a Post Malone and Jelly Roll match against a Logan Paul and somebody else would be the most would probably be the best fit for him.
For Post Malone ain't wrestling. Because all this is going, I'm hoping if that was the case, it was going to set up the fact for Logan Paul to do a one-on-one with Jelly Roll if he is taking that route. But the only way you can run that back is if Jelly Roll enters the Royal Rumble and eliminates Logan Paul.
Oh my God! First and foremost, do you think that we'll actually see Jelly Roll versus Logan Paul at WrestleMania? Do you think that that's a WrestleMania match?
I don't think, considering it's 2 nights and they're waiting for people to be on the card.
Hello?
I mean, I just said, considering it's 2 nights and they need some appeal, I wouldn't put it past them. TKO will pull that shit out their ass. If this was a McMahon, maybe. TKO, they will definitely pull that shit out their ass.
I don't know. I think Jelly Roll's more of a SummerSlam guy than a WrestleMania guy, if I'm being honest.
Nope. Okay.
It's a...
And you see Jelly roll that ass down the ramp.
It's a PLE match for sure. Just a WrestleMania match, and I mean he's on tour right now, or he's starting his tour, so I'm not entirely sure if he would be ready for a WrestleMania match at this time, depending on where things fall.
I mean, Bad Bunny did it in the middle of it. I'm telling you, don't put it past him. Don't put it past him.
Again, he's Bad Bunny. there is no comparing Bad Bunny. He's like the Brock Lesnar of celebrities. You can't compare him to the other celebrities.
You're saying Bad Bunny's in his own planet.
Right.
Okay.
I mean, you don't agree with that?
I mean, he is the bar, and everything that I said, he is that guy. I just am also of the belief that motherfucker is going to pull him out of that. TKO is not above pulling it out of his ass. Out of their ass.
Well, we'll see. If we get a Post Malone tag match with Jelly Roll, that would be honestly pretty sweet. I think that would be cool. After Seth Rollins gets out of his, rivalry with CM Punk at some point, they're going to have to let go of each other. Seth Rollins versus Post Malone match, give him something to do after that, rivalry with Punk. Yeah, why not? I think Seth could carry him to a decent match. If, he puts in the work, obviously.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I mean, yeah, we'll see. I personally think it's going to be. We were talking about semantics. Post Malone ain't doing it. Jelly Roll's got a better shot of being at WrestleMania than Post Malone stepping in that damn ring.
I disagree. I think we will see at some point Post Malone in the WWE ring.
If he wanted to, he would have been done it. Because at one point, he was bigger than. I mean, Jelly Roll's hotter than Post Malone right now. Now, don't get me wrong, Post Malone's a bigger name, but Jelly Roll's a hotter star right now. He's hotter right now in the last couple of years than Post Malone.
Well, one could argue that a WWE stint would kind of reignite that fire, no? For instance, what is his name?
Fred Durst? No.
I was gonna say Mike Tyson. I mean, he wasn't in the best place when he made his WWE debut, but he did all of that stuff with DX, and it kind of reignited him.
But Mike Tyson was also just getting out of jail and starting his trajectory trying to get the heavyweight championship back. Two totally different scenarios. I'm just saying, Post Malone, it ain't happening. It ain't happening. I don't see it happening.
All right. Well, we will see about that.
AJ Lee got a better shot of winning the Royal Rumble than fucking Post Malone coming into the ring.
Well, we could probably both agree that this next bit of news is the least likely to actually happen, and that is Jeff Jarrett invited Travis Kelce to be in a AEW ring when his career as a football player is over. So Jeff Jarrett is saying that Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift's fiance, should become a pro wrestler for AEW specifically after he retires as a football player.
That ain't happening either. Although Jeff Jarrett does have an in with Taylor Swift, as she used to babysit his kids. So I'll put it as the least likely to happen, but it has a better possibility considering the connects.
Low-key, do you think that Taylor Swift actually remembers babysitting for Jeff Jarrett?
Yeah, because she did a 3-hour concert at his house.
Recently?
No, when she was trying to get on. That was the story. That's the story. She used to babysat. He had the house topped off for a 3-hour concert.
I would feel
before Taylor became the biggest female country star this side of Mississippi.
I feel like WWE would have a better shot of getting a Travis Kelce than an AEW at this point. But
Kelce's not gonna. His body's fucked, and he already knows he ain't playing. They had Rob Gronkowski. You see how that went. His body is totally fucked. So
he didn't even get in the ring.
That's my point. Everything hurt.
Oh. But I mean, his brother did make an appearance at WrestleMania a year ago.
Jason. Yeah, he did.
So, I mean, there is only like one separate degree of separation there. And 2 degrees to get to
But
the
that's for
Swift.
WWE, not AEW.
Right. So, I mean, if there is any legitimacy to him ever getting into pro wrestling, I would imagine it would be for the bigger, company.
It would have to be WWE having a WrestleMania in Kansas City in order for this shit to happen.
Now, I'm not a football guy. I mean, that's your realm of expertise. Is Travis Kelce that big of a name, or is his name only as big as it is because of who he's dating?
No, Kelsey's a legit top 5 tight end of all time. When you're thinking, well, not top 5, probably top 10. I could probably, yeah, he's roughly a top 10 tight end of all time. 2-time Super Bowl champ. He was known in the league beforehand, and the Super Bowls helped him. Him dating Taylor Swift just magnified it more. Because keep in mind, he became a household name in his prime. He blew up nationally when the Eagles played the Chiefs in the Super Bowl because it was the Kelce Bowl, and the parents got on, and they ended up getting endorsements and deals. You see what I'm saying? So all of that was jumping off before Taylor Swift was even in the picture.
Okay, I gotcha.
And then when Taylor Swift came in the picture, that's when it became a whole different stratosphere. So he was a big star. He just became a bigger star because now he's linked himself to the Swifties.
And what is the likelihood that we'll get a Seth and Becky mixed tag against Kelce and Swift?
Whoo! You got a better chance of me getting paid from Steve Ballmer's secret account. And if you don't know, you know.
Unlikely.
Very unlikely. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, hypothetically speaking, do you think that Taylor Swift could actually be talented when it comes to pro wrestling? Like, could she be a female Bad Bunny if she actually committed?
I don't see it. I don't see an athletic bone in her body.
Okay. It's full.
Sexy Red has a better chance of being a better wrestler than Taylor Swift. And you know I despise Sexy Red. So there you go.
How dare you?
Because Sexy Red look like she'll water fight. See, that's the difference. Cardi B got a better shot.
Sexy Red was the official was on the official theme song for Clash in Paris. So I mean, she has her in with WWE already.
That's what I'm saying. She got a better shot of doing it than for real than the goddamn Taylor Swift.
So the Taylor Swift aesthetic is only an aesthetic, not for actual use.
It's an aesthetic meant for musical purposes only. Only problem is I don't think that they got any what's that word I'm looking for here? The Swifties probably ain't got no reason to, listen about all the breakups and stuff anymore because now she's, engaged.
It would give her more to actually sing about because obviously she can't sing about breakups anymore because, she's getting married. Taking bets of how long that actually lasts. but like if she starts pro wrestling, she could make songs about the bitches that do her dirty in her matches.
That ain't man. Shit, no. Because at least Bad Bunny had a song called Booker T before he wrestled. I mean,
This is very true.
he showed the inch. He showed the interest. It wasn't.
Yeah.
That's where it comes in. You got to sing about the interest.
I only bring this.
Hell, I'm surprised they didn't get Action Bronson. That motherfucker got songs literally named after wrestlers. Barry Horowitz. He literally has a song named Barry Horowitz. Pretty good song.
Actually,
Marty Jannetty. He literally has a song.
He wrestled for AEW. He teamed with Hook. So, I mean, he did.
No, I know, but I'm just saying, I'm surprised WWE didn't pop that out. Like, bro, you got a song named Barry Horowitz. Come on in.
Well,
Marty Jannetty, we might keep that one off, but Barry Horowitz, come on in.
I mention all of this because back in 2007, somebody that really had no business being in a WWE ring, but yet had a match with their biggest star, Kevin Federline, wrestled John Cena. And it was only to actually try and get Britney Spears to make a WWE appearance. Obviously, that didn't actually happen, but it didn't stop WWE from trying to get that, that locked down. So it's not like, oh, would WWE actually try and do that? WWE has tried to do that in the past.
That is true, but Kevin Federline, but that was 2000. That was when they were about to be on the mend, and Britney went crazy, and Kevin won the kids, and that's a whole different time in 2007.
Right. I'm not saying that it was the best laid strategy, clearly, but it was a strategy that they had at that time. So WWE reaching for Taylor Swift in 2025, going into 2026, would not surprise me.
That part. Yeah, that's true.
So, we talked about some good shit. We fantasized about other shit. Now it's time for the bad shit. Matt Riddle is back in the news. Do you have any idea what bad shit Matt Riddle did this time?
No, but I hope it doesn't affect the MLW show in October, but we will see.
It might. Matt Riddle no-showed a charity show to raise money for domestic abuse and homeless veterans. When prompted for a response, he said he don't need to explain himself. He said he used a lot of expletives that I will not be using on this show. But one of the key words in all of this was, just like when you believe that Me Too bullshit. Matt Riddle had a couple of appearances. He had at least one meet and greet, and they actually pulled him from that meet and greet because his comments did not align with their values.
Mm-hmm.
I will, first and foremost, I'll say it was maybe not the best idea on whatever promotion this was. I believe it was in the UK. To have somebody that had allegations of domestic abuse and on him to be a part of your show about Me Too. Well, about domestic abuse. But I digress. Obviously, you want big names, to draw, money for a charity show. But doesn't necessarily get worse than, no showing a show for a charity show for domestic abuse and homeless veterans. The only thing was if puppies were involved in these charities. Like he hit all of the worst things you could know. So
True. I mean, it's his prerogative. At this point, no comment, and let 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 the let the karma begin. So there it is. Let the karma go where the karma goes.
I mean, the karma just kind of came in because he's been shit talking CM Punk for the last maybe like 2-3 months, um, and now this happens to him. Like, yeah, I don't know what the hell RVD is doing, but
Minding his business. That's what the.
no, he actually hasn't. He said he came out in support of Matt Riddle. At least when it came to the comments about CM Punk. I don't know how this changes things for him, though.
Okay, but so he did come and okay.
But I mean, low-key, I
I
get
know.
it. I
I
mean,
know he was talking smack. I know he was talking smack about the
Roger
what
Jackson.
was it? The whole Raja Jackson thing, which it's
I mean,
so. I
surprisingly,
mean,
from last week, we have no new news when it comes to the Roger Jackson situation, which is kind of sad.
oh, well, no, never mind. There are some news. Come to find out that whole thing was a hoax. Thank God about him having a guest booking. Uh, the the city is investigating it, though. That I do know. So charges could be looming, and one wrestler did get blackballed, allegedly. I'm assuming because he did the right thing.
Okay,
So
so who? Okay, so you're gonna need to give me details on this. Who is claiming that it was all a work and a hoax?
no. I'm talking about Raja being booked for the show that we were talking about last week
Oh,
was a
okay, so that was
hoax.
a hoax. Okay, I understand.
Yes, yeah, that part was a hoax. Like, everything else was real.
Oh,
So
okay.
that
So that was a hoax, and one person got blackballed.
yep,
Okay.
the black ball continued.
So if any new news about it comes in, I obviously will be reporting on it. Hopefully there's no new news about Matt Riddle, so we don't have to talk about him going forward. That being
Uh,
said, that will conclude our coverage of the news. And now a quick word from our sponsors.
So, Rogue Energy, the only gaming drink company in the world with 4 unique product lines to suit your task at hand, whether it be juices, shakes, smoothies, and everything else in between. Their low calorie, no sugar energy formula is the perfect alternative to sugar filled canned energy drinks and sodas. Their extreme formula provides the most energy, focus, and sports performance possible. Their hydration line offers focus, ingredients without the added caffeine. Drink it anytime you're thirsty. And their shake formula is so delicious. Who doesn't love a cookies and cream, 0 calorie energy milkshake? First and foremost, they've designed every Rogue product line with performance and effectiveness in mind. It is critical that you look at the nutrition panels of drinks when comparing options. There are countless off brands out there that are presenting low quality, poorly dosed formulas that amount to expensive caffeine water. Every formula they produce is designed with optimal levels of high quality ingredients. Additionally, you won't find a powdered gaming drink brand that dissolves better. No need to have chalky textures in your drink. Their taste profiles are unmatched, specifically designed for gamers, athletes, students, entrepreneurs, people with hectic schedules, individuals with low energy, podcasters who can't shut up, people who are health conscious, and so much more. Great as both a pre-workout and as a coffee energy drink replacement. Specifically designed every Rogue product line to be the best gaming drink on the planet. Rogue Energy, more focus, more wins.
Use promo code WRESTLINGWITHE for 10% off your next purchase. And we are wrestling with WWE Clash in Paris. Took place last Sunday in Nanterre, France, at the Paris La Défense Arena. Attendance was 30,343. A very fine sized crowd for sure. One of the bigger crowds this year for sure. And yeah, we'll get into it. But your thoughts on the show?
On the show, the show as a whole, okay. I mean, the Cena, match of the night, Cena Logan. Cena came to play. I don't know what happened, but it seemed like ever since they got rid of that heel promo, he's like, I'm just gonna use all the wrestling moves in my energy bud, because we didn't even talk about the fact he hit a GTS in Chicago, but that's all.
Right.
So he's out here like, oh no, I'm trying to wrestle. But yeah, and of course, everything, it pushed a storyline. Of course, like I said, the CM Punk storyline is the one that's going to continue, and thus what happened here and on Raw is is a precursor to what happened yesterday. So it pushed everything along, and now we realize how come they didn't have any PLEs in September because of Clash in Paris and now WrestlePalooza. It's all coming together for Survivor Series, which is going to be interesting. It's going to be very interesting, the people that possibly get picked for this match, for War Games.
So, first and foremost, I find WWE guilty of AEWing. And when I say that, I mean this was a 4-hour PLE, and the matches just seemed to go really, really long. And it didn't really seem like there was a reason. Considering this wasn't SummerSlam or Survivor Series where, you could get away with adding an extra hour to it. And considering what we know, on Monday and, Friday, this was very much just a transition PLE rather than, the blow-off PLE, if that makes sense. I feel like they just kind of did it because they had 30,000 in attendance, and this was the last PLE we're going to have on Peacock for quite some time. The matches were okay, but again, everything was just so long. It didn't. You could have done it in 3 hours. Everything that they did, they could have done in 3 hours, and still make it work just as good, in my opinion.
That can be the case, but I think they just gave it to them because it's France, and France is just. I do give them that. France is hot. That crowd is just. I sat there and I was like, ain't no way. Because San Diego, we need to be better, baby.
Honestly, I'm getting tired of the European crowds with the Roman Reigns, like fucking cheer, don't sing. I'm kind of over it at this point.
How are you? Oh, you can't be over that.
They don't cheer, they sing.
That's European. That's their cheering is their singing.
I feel like if it was just a random Sunday at a bar, they would be doing the exact same thing. They just paid an over expensive ticket to do it.
That's my point. only they did it in a way that only they know how. Say what you will, they understand the assignment.
Um, well, well, let's get into it. Let's get into the first match. Uh, Roman Reigns defeated Bronson Reed to retain his Sue La Fala in 22 minutes and 5 seconds. When I say these matches went way too long, this match was the most guilty of doing so. Um, it took the match might have been 22 minutes, but the whole segment between entrances and for them to actually get Roman Reigns out of the ring took an hour. This was a full hour of the show was Roman Reigns and Bronson Reed. And uh, I mean, the match itself was fine. It did what it needed to do. I love the fact that Roman Reigns took the shoes back and drew them into the crowd, kind of stating, it doesn't really matter to me. I wrestle for championships, which was the statement he made. It was, again, it was just kind of everything else. Like, again, the 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 after segment did not have to take as long as it did, and it just kind of dwelled at the point where you know this is going on forever, and it definitely did
Really?
take it definitely took away from my enjoyment of the whole entire show because it just kept dragging and dragging and dragging, and yeah, it this was not this was not paced out properly, in my opinion. What say you?
I, I, I mean, I guess my take is totally different because I'm looking at it like I know why that happened. The reason the whole long segment happened is to get the heat back from Bronson taking the L to Roman. Um, that was the whole purpose of it. I mean, say what you will, it made it made Braun look more serious than anything. Because now it kind of showed you that, yeah, Roman won the match, and it showed to them, fuck the match. We here to take you out. So that's what I got out of it. Um, and it put Jay right back in the middle of it because every time Jay try to leave, family keeps pulling them back, come back.
Right.
So that's the whole point. The you I can see why you say it takes too long, but the point to me it tied in all of what was happening, not only between Bronson and Roman and Braun, but also Jay, because Jay having the talk with Roman, Roman having his match, Roman winning the match, Roman getting attacked, Jay making the save, Jay seeing him get left on a stretcher, Jay going through that mentally, Jay now realizing what it's almost kind of like he's coming to terms with what Roman was actually meaning. And that's funny because Roman has not changed in all of this. The only difference is people's perception. So that's the whole point of it. It's gearing up the people who, because Seth and Braun are in war games.
Right.
Roman and Jay will be there. So it's setting the thing up, right? It's giving them to a reason to be involved in war games.
Right. And I do completely agree with everything that you said, 100%. And I am like genuinely happy that Bronson Reed actually got this match. Bronson deserves to wrestle, Roman Reigns for sure. But an hour to get all of this done, it just seemed like too much. It could have been done in, I don't know, like half the time, and still have, the same result. If I'm being completely honest, everything that they wanted to accomplish could have been done in a half hour, 45 minutes at the least. And they just, there's letting things breed, and then there's just letting too much time pass in between everything. I think they let too much time pass in between, in my opinion. But
I guess I look at it different because that needed to happen in order for you. Because the thing is this: more people are going to want to be in more games to get back at Seth and the crew than to actually team up, and that is the story that I see is happening, right? The story, and that's honestly that is the overarching story. Everybody's more trying to get to Seth more than being allies, and they're not even caring about being allies because you see LA Knight fighting Punk, and you see Jay slowly was cool with Punk, and then he did the thing to Punk because of the whole family thing. So now you got that angle. Then you got, you see what I'm saying, LA Knight and Jay having a problem. And you see what I'm saying? So, and then don't even forget the fact of the callback of LA Knight and Roman. So it's like all, you see what I'm saying?
right.
All of this stuff is about to come. And you kind of got to give a reason for Roman to want to be in War Games other than the fact of saying I'm in War Games.
Right.
And this is going to give him the reason to do so. We know Jay's going to do it because it's for family.
Right. And I agree, but I feel like this all could have been wrapped up again in 30 minutes, and it could have had the same effect. Just my opinion. That being said, how many stars do you give this?
I mean, to me, but the match was actually pretty solid. I mean, for Bronson, he felt like it looked like he belonged. I mean, a good 3.5.
Yeah, I think 3.5. For the match itself was pretty solid.
Yeah, the match was solid. But and then not even forgetting the fact that Roman got the receipt, so you couldn't just end it on Roman getting the receipt.
Right. It,
See,
no, I get that.
because that would make Bronson and them look Braun and them look weak. So that's why all of that needed to happen.
No, agree. All right. Do we have Uncle Dave's take?
Now you know good and damn well Uncle Dave had a MF take on this for Labor Day weekend.
I don't know. I thought he might be still on a
Ring of Honor. Oh, he's on Ring of Honor. What?
I was gonna say he was still in a coma from Forbidden Door because he got so much pleasure from it.
No. But you know what? It is another week, another PLE. I feel like we had like 30 PLEs in like the last 10. Which means it is another episode of Guess That Rating for Dave Meltzer.
Okay. What did Uncle
Keep in
Dave
mind,
give this?
WWE in Paris on Labor Day weekend.
3 7/5.
Lower.
3 1/4.
Higher.
3.5.
3.5. There we go. See, now we know you ain't cheating.
Just give me a minute. I need to dial into what Uncle Dave is feeling on this given day. What's making him vibe. Alright. WWE Tag Team Championship match. The Wyatt Six, Joe Gacy and Dexter Loomis, with Uncle Harry, Eric Rowan, and Nikki Cross defeated the Street Profits, Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford, with BFAB in 13 minutes and 10 seconds. It didn't seem like this was a bit of a transitional match, if I'm being honest. Not taking away anything from anybody, but after everything that happened, needed something to get the crowd back up. I think it did that. I'm happy to actually see, the Wyatt Six on a PLE, and I'm never going to complain when the Street Profits are, on a PLE. Love those guys. I think it understood the assignment, what it needed to do. The Street Profits had that awesome Borderlands gear as well. I find it funny that the Wyatt Six is very beloved by the crowd for obvious reasons, but still very much the heels in the match, and they make that very obvious. But I don't know. I think that this worked for what it needed to be. What say you?
I just don't like the fact that they're trying to tease the Street Profits breaking up, bro. Just keeping it tall. Uh, I get why the Wyatts got the belts. I just don't think. I think I'll give them a chance. Let me see what they do with it, because when the belt was being dabbled amongst DIY, the Profits, Motor City Machine Guns, the tag team division was kind of like buzzing. And now it just seems like, okay, where are they going to go from there? Because they're not going to have a lot of contenders, and so it's
Right. I
it's
mean,
it's
DIY already
that's
went back to NXT, so that's what they'll be doing for maybe the next couple of weeks.
and then you got to think about what Motor City Machine Guns are going to do, and so that's my biggest fear. And I don't want,
Would you maybe
I,
would you say that it was maybe time for the Street Profits to go their own way and see what they could do as singles?
I personally, you can make the argument. I just don't. I don't think that. I think they're too solid of a tag team to end it. That's just my opinion of the whole thing, of the Profits. Taz can be a star on his own. I think Dawkins could be a solid guy. I just think that given the state of the tag team division, other than Judgment Day, the Wyatt Six, there's not really a lot of cohesive units as a tag team. Right? Most of the Machine Guns obviously attack, but even they had a history of breaking up. DIY, they had a history of breaking up. You know what I'm saying? Other than the New Day. You see what I'm saying? So, like, that's why I just think I think it would be a bigger hole in the tag team, WWE tag team, than anything.
No, I agree with that. It's kind of like the Hardy Boys breaking up.
That is true. Although they both did good, but the thing is, yeah, when the Hardy Boys and the Dudleys broke up, and then Edge and Christian broke, it was a hole in that tag team division. It's a hell of a hole, like a black hole. That's what I'm saying. So that's what you don't want.
Right. And we could, out of all those tag teams that you just said, we could probably agree that the Street Profits are probably the biggest out of all of those tag teams.
They are the biggest, especially considering that you're already seeing the writing. You see the writing for Judgment Day, so we know where that's going,
Right.
or at least we have a speculation of where that should be going. And then the Wyatts are still trying to figure it out. But everybody else, other than what the New Day, and the New Day needs to get them. I need them to get over their mourning and get them belts back. Anyway, but that's a whole nother thing. That's what I'm saying. And when the last time they defended those titles, I will give Wyatt that much, but it was against, like, Wyatt defending against the Profits. Who's going to be that next challenger?
Right. We'll see, but this match, how many stars you give it?
The crowd really kind of, I mean, this was the one time the crowd was like, right? Am I the only one that felt that?
I think they were just kind of blown up from the last match.
Yeah, they were blown up. Yeah, getting their win back. But with that, I mean, a 3, and that's me pushing it.
I was actually under the same assumption, Dre. So that leaves us with Uncle Dave.
Uncle Dizzy.
2 7/5.
You cheating. Now we know you cheating.
I calculated it because we probably gave it more than he did.
Cheater.
Alright, now we have the WWE Women's Intercontinental Championship match. Becky Lynch defeated Nikki Bella in 13 minutes 7 seconds. Honestly, one of Nikki Bella's better matches.
Really?
I don't remember seeing Nikki Bella wrestle Becky before. I could be wrong about that. But I mean, she gave it to Becky. Becky gave it back to her. Not, a bad match. But I would say that the ending left a lot to be desired because Becky just kind of out of nowhere, rolled her up, and that was just kind of it. It was just kind of. It was more of a whimper than a bang, if I'm being completely honest. But other than that, not a bad match. I don't want to say that it did what it needed to do, but it was on the card. What say you?
I mean, I thought the ring rush showed for our girl Nikki Bella, but that's just me. Just me personally, and I think Nikki took advantage of it and got the win. But to be quite honest, this thing was over when Nikki dropped that bomb on her and John Cena. This shit was over right then and there.
Oh yeah.
This rivalry was over before the bell even rang.
And whether you believe rumor and innuendo, there might be issues between Becky Lynch and Nikki Bella legitimately. Nikki Bella's already starting beef with Wade Barrett as well for comments he made on the pre-show for a class in Paris. Which I mean, there wasn't necessarily anything revolutionary. He just said if anybody's desperate, it's Nikki Bella to stay relevant. Which I mean, he is a heel announcer, so I mean, he is going to say things about that. But she kind of made him out of a molehill. Um, I mean, you said the ring rust on Nikki Bella, and I agree with that. But could we maybe say that this was a better match than the one that she had with Chelsea Green, where she literally could not get her up for, the Rock Attack?
True, could be. I mean, that is true. I cannot, I mean, better than that, but even then, did you really think that this was a 50-50 shot?
Oh hell no! But
There we go.
I do think that Becky carried her to a better match than she's had since she's came back. My opinion. What say you, Kaliko? How many stars you give this?
2.5. I mean, yeah, 2.5.
Um, that's a fair review. Yeah, I agree. 2.5. Alright, good old fashioned Donnybrook match. Rusev defeated.
Uncle Dizzy.
Ooh, that's right. If we didn't like this match, then he probably hated it. 1 7/5.
Higher.
2.
2. There we go. Look at you.
Alright. Good old fashioned Donnybrook match. Rusev versus Rusev defeated Sheamus in 20 minutes and 8 seconds. Way too long of a match, if I'm being honest, for two guys that.
What?
Yeah, for a match that I wasn't necessarily invested in. I like Sheamus. I don't necessarily care about Rusev. This shouldn't have been on the PLE. This should have been on a random Monday Night Raw, if I'm being completely honest.
I mean, I thought it was a good match. Two men slapping meat, beating the hell out of each other. What can you? What could be better than that?
I mean, yeah, but if you don't it's not like we haven't seen them slapping meat the last 3-4 weeks on Raw, and I mean those matches kind of seem like they went forever as well.
That is true.
It's not like they just want us to try and get invested and care about Rusev when I'm sorry, I don't care about Rusev.
You don't care about Rusev, then.
Yeah. I mean, if Lana was with him, sure, but
how dare
alone,
you, sir?
No. So, yeah, it was hard for me to get invested to begin with. So, I understand what they're trying to do. I'm not behind it. But you obviously thought differently, no?
Yeah, I liked it. Honestly, I think this is when the card started to pick up.
So it was kind of like, for you, peaks and valleys. That first match was a peak. There was a bit of a valley in between, and now it started to become a peak again.
Yep.
Alright, then how many stars you give this?
I mean, this was, to me, a solid... I'm going to go 4.25. Because
Wow.
They went. I mean, say what you will. They went hard. They went hard. They went hella hard. Very hard. Yet.
Well, I think this is where we actually are the furthest apart than we've been. I give this a 3 stars.
How dare you?
Yeah. I mean, the slapping me and the, going hard part, I agree. The Do I give a shit about these guys doing it to each other? No, you.
How dare you?
Um, Uncle Dave.
Uncle Dave. Let's see. You got one in, I got the other. Let's see.
I think he's smack dab in the middle. 3.5.
Higher.
3 7/5.
Higher.
4.
4.25. You don't cheat, man.
I think you're just letting Uncle Dave influence your star ratings a bit.
No, not true, because when we get to the next match.
Okay. Then we have John Cena defeating Logan Paul in 26 minutes and 20 seconds. I will agree with you. This was one of the better matches on the card for sure. Um, John Cena is starting to show off, what he has left in the tank. And obviously Logan Paul wants to be in the caliber of a John Cena. So they told that story well, I'd say. I don't necessarily understand why we needed callbacks to Cesaro and Dolph Ziggler and
Baron Corbin, because those are some of the opponents he had towards the end. Give him nod. I will give him that. He gives nods.
Yeah, I don't necessarily know why we needed to have those nods. The Styles class in Paris, that kind of made some sense to me. If I'm being if anything, if one of the nods had to make sense, but the nods were unnecessary in my opinion. It didn't necessarily take away from anything, but it did what it needed to do, I suppose. And I do think that Logan Paul is actually a better wrestler for having had the match with John Cena, if I'm being completely honest. And John Cena, I don't know how much. Like, does he need to go to the gas station to refill after all these like major matches he's been having in the last couple of months? Like, is he leaving anything in the tank for his last match? I don't know, but he is putting it out there now. What say you?
Well, me personally, I thought that this was the match of the night. The crowd was into it. The crowd was into every move. They were into Logan trying to do this thing. They were into John Cena popping out like every releasing basically his entire move meter from WWE 2K. So yeah, to me, this was the match of the night, and it got the people popped. Everything that he did, that crowd was just, yeah. Me personally, that was it. That was the match of the night. Granted, it was John Cena's last time, and this is why we didn't want Cena to be heel, because we knew every place he was going to be in, they're going to give him everything. And what pisses me off is that he didn't get that at WrestleMania.
Um,
But back to this match of the night for me.
you know,
Solid match, very solid for
it's
Logan, and Logan
yeah.
loses nothing in it. He loses nothing in it.
It's
So it's a
weird to
perfect
say he's
opponent.
one of those guys that could take an L and not necessarily let it hurt him one way or the other.
You want to know why? Because he gets the best of both worlds.
Elaborate.
Because if he, prime example, if he loses every match he's lost, people expected him to lose because they still kind of give him that YouTuber feeling
The outsider role.
because he's still an outsider even though he's a he's damn near. I mean, he's not full time, but damn near. Um, so he gets that leeway. When you look at his loss records, Seth Rollins, um, Jey Uso, L.A. Knight,
Cody Rhodes.
Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns, John Cena. He's not losing to, you know what I'm saying? His losses are literally the upper echelon of wrestling.
But he also has wins against Rey Mysterio,
Rey
AJ
Mysterio,
Styles.
Randy Orton, Kevin Owens, AJ Styles.
Right. So it balances
So
it out.
if he balances out, and if he it's like one of those things where like he wins the matches that you think he has a shot at, and he loses the matches that you know he doesn't have a business winning. And it's a perfect booking for him. Because when he loses, everybody just falls back to, oh, he's an outsider, a YouTuber,
Right.
so on and so forth. But when he wins, it's like, oh, shit. He actually looks good, and he does maybe some nefarious things in the way. So it falls within that character.
Right. And going back to what, just to kind of go back to something that you mentioned was, John Cena not getting that appreciation, that cheers for WrestleMania. Just last night on SmackDown, they were in Chicago, Rosemont Horizon, and for anybody that knows John Cena or follows his career, he does not have the best relationship with the Chicago crowd, and especially Rosemont Horizon. Like every time that he was there, they would boo him out of that building, and for him to go into that arena for his last match on SmackDown, and for the people to actually cheer him, and not even cheer him, but like really show their respect for him. Honestly, I would say for him that would be more of a big deal than getting that last pop at WrestleMania, because he's gotten those pops at WrestleMania. He's never gotten that pop at Rosemont Horizon. You know what I mean?
While that is true, I think the entrance he got at Mania should have been the entrance he got in Paris, which is the entrance he should have got at SummerSlam. Which he got at SummerSlam. So that's just me personally.
Yeah.
I always thought like if he was gonna do the heely shit, do it at Mania, because that would be the one place where you think he wouldn't do it. But at least they knew to reverse the course. But back to this match, yeah, this was the match of the night for me.
How many stars?
5.
5 stars. Wow.
I told you. Yeah, I mean, because that crowd elevated that match. Way super big. Logan played his part. They literally John Cena literally called it. I mean, because he knows he's not going to wrestle these people again. So he's basically. I like that he paid homage to those people because those are people, for better or worse, who got kind of other than Styles. I mean, Ziggler kind of got ramrodded. Same way with Baron Corbin.
No offense, but like when I think John Cena matches, Dolph Ziggler is definitely not even in the top 10 of people that I think of.
That is true. I think he. I don't think it's not about the match. It's about him respecting Dolph Ziggler as a professional.
And I mean, Baron Corbin, he
Yeah.
only had like one match with him that lasted like 2 minutes.
Hey, there's a reason he did it.
I mean, Cesaro, like, close to the same thing. Like, he had one match with him on a random Friday. It could have been a Tuesday.
But you know Cesaro has Cesaro in WWE. WWE Cesaro was seen as like the guy. Let's not act like, you know what I mean? They thought he was like the underground champ. So don't like, or at least the people thought so. So let's not act like that wasn't a thing, especially from the years of 2014 to roughly 2017.
I mean, true. But unfortunately, every time they gave him a chance to succeed, he would blow it. And now he
It never broke his way, and I'll gladly say that. Yeah, never broke his way.
I give this 4 stars. It was good.
Hater. No, just joking.
It was a good match. It elevated Logan Paul. It made John Cena look good. The crowd was. I would say that the crowd maybe took a little bit away from it because they were doing the wave and it kind of distracted from the match rather than get you more invested in it. My opinion. Though the story was there. They did what they needed to do. So yeah, everything kind of worked. Except, like I said, the distraction. Alright, Uncle Dave gave this. I think I'm vibing with Uncle Dave. He gave this a 4.
You might want to go higher, my man.
4.5.
4.5. See what I'm saying? Like, you're bugging.
Maybe I was just not in the mood. Tired
on Labor Day weekend? You must have been working on Labor Day weekend because that's the only way you wasn't in the mood.
It was a long Labor Day. I was tired. I saw the one time was 4 hours, and I said, all right, well, I'm not doing anything else, so might as well get through this. Then the first match kind of just... It was so long. The first match was so long that I don't want to say that it ruined my enjoyment of the rest of the show, but it did kind of put a slight damper on everything. So maybe that first match damper took off maybe a half a star or a quarter of a star for all of this for me. I'll admit that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And like I said, it was 4 hours and 6 matches. Like, for a PLE that wasn't, SummerSlam, WrestleMania, or one of the bigger ones. So that definitely soured me a bit as well for a transitional period. Uh, well, that brings us to the last match, the main event, the World Heavyweight Championship four-way match. Seth freaking Rollins defeated CM Punk, Jey Uso, and LA Knight in 24 minutes and 29 seconds. Another unnecessarily long match.
You in the bro, it was a Labor Day weekend. What the hell? Where the hell else you had to go?
It's not that I had anywhere else to go. It's just that I didn't want to spend all of my day, all of my night watching this.
Well, I guess I'm in the minority because, unlike everybody else, I didn't watch this shit live. I watched it on Labor Day. Fuck that. I'm just like, fuck it. I got shit to do, and I just watch it on the.
So.
Fuck it.
Yeah. Again, unnecessarily long. I will say this: it told the story that it needed to do properly. Like LA Knight, now has problems with Jey Uso because of their interactions in this match. Seth, you think, is on his all by his lonesome because the Bronze, got kicked out earlier in the night. Jey Uso is already hurt in going into the match because he messed around and fucked around with the Bronze. CM Punk is just sporting Doctor Doom gear and looking cool and thinking that he could get his pound of flesh. And then, obviously Becky Lynch comes in and fucks everything up for all three guys, letting her Bay win the match. Again, other than being unnecessarily long, I think that this really worked out really well with telling all of the stories that they needed to tell in it.
Oh yeah.
So, in some ways, I would say that this was probably masterfully done because you did pick up on everything that needed to be picked up on.
Oh yeah, and that's my point. And it also gives a reason why it's going to give the reason why it's not over. Just because the match is over doesn't mean that it's over for each individual.
Right. And obviously it's not because Monday and Friday, everything that happened on those 2 weeks, tells you where we're heading. And obviously, September sets up October sets up War Games.
I mean, I cannot wait till War Games. Am I the only person that's like, oh, I'm like, I feel like a crackhead right now because it's San Diego. It's my city. This is the first time my black ass ain't gotta pay for fucking hotels. Fucking go, right? But back to the match at hand. It actually worked out, like we said. Everything had a reason, and now it sets up everything, and that's it. And this is why I told you Seth was the best case to win that briefcase because when he cashes in, he becomes the focal point, and that's what I was saying earlier in the year. Like him having the title, it sets everybody up to be against him. And now he's basically in this scenario where, to be quite honest, he cannot slip and fall. He's basically, his head is on a swivel. And that's good because now it keeps the championship at the forefront, and it gives all these other people that are in the orbit that shine as a championship contender. Not to mention the fact, other Punk is a championship. I mean, Jay is that well, but it also see how LA Knight is elevated to a championship contender because of the simple fact that Seth had the title. He beat Seth, and now you see what I'm saying.
Right.
So that wouldn't have had happened if Seth didn't have the title. And then keep in mind, Seth knocked off LA Knight to win the briefcase to get it in the first place. So it all works, right? So that's why I like Seth having it, because he's the guy. He is the moon, and everybody's trying to jump on that bitch. and the problem is that everybody is like beefing with each other and trying to get to the moon. So in a way, he kind of escapes because everyone else is arguing with each other over who gets to get to the moon. That's essentially how it is. And I like that. And that puts Seth in a way better position because that's a position he's been in before. Honestly, this is like, it's almost like a redo of the 2014, or not 2014, was it 2015? His 2015 title?
Yeah.
His 2015 title run versus that not having that authority. This is what it should have been. And now, you know what I'm saying? So,
yeah, I get what you mean.
So it makes him look good. It makes his people look good. Everybody's looking strong. Everyone looks strong, and everyone has their whys, and that's what matters, especially in this when you come to the championship. Because the WWE Championship, it's its own thing. People care about it. It is what it is. But that belt now gets elevated because now you got so many people fawning over not only the belt, but trying to get revenge on the person that is holding the belt. And that is, to me, what wrestling has always been about.
You know, I agree, and I mean, this match did exactly what it needed to do to set up everything that they needed to do in this last week, like, and masterfully done. Masterfully, it has. No, and you know, God bless that guy that had that sign in the crowd that said, "We want AJ Lee in fucking Paris."
Prayers it wasn't answered then, but like I say, they don't come when you want them to,
right?
But they come when you need.
If anybody needed to buy a ticket to Chicago, it was that guy. A conversation me and Kaliko had before the show started.
No shit. If there was one person that should have been in Chicago, it should have been me. I feel like, goddamn.
I mean, there should have been a couple shows your ass should have been at, but you decided to just go to a Lucha Vavoom instead.
Hey man, burlesque show versus attempted murder. I should have been at both. Well, no, you know what? Lucha Vavoom was Friday. Knox Pro was Saturday. I easily could have won.
I mean, if Lucha Vavoom was actually on this day that you went when it wasn't there, you could have easily gone to any of these shows.
I'm thinking Lucha Vavoom was on a Friday, so Knox Pro was on the weekend. I could have went. I could have went to Lucha. I could have went to Knox Pro. But Knox Pro, that's the thing with Knox Pro, because Knox Pro, the furthest I will drive to Knox Pro, and this is me telling, they usually have a spot in Ramona called the Derby Room. And I love the Derby Room because it's not too far from the Ramona speed track. But that venue is perfect because they have a area where it's kind of shaded, and they built 2 rings. As a matter of fact, I went to their Knox Pros. I remember the last time I was in Ramona, it was like Knox Pros version of War Games, where they had and it was a 2-day show. Went to the 2-day show and had a ball. I ain't gonna lie, it was fun as shit. As a matter, fact, I am digging through my crates, looking at all that now.
And
It's
nobody
funny
was
how,
attempted to be murdered as well.
although they did have a match that involved one of those food for less shopping carts, and you know how hard them bitches are. So that's like yeah.
Yeah.
I already found it. We about to clip it, put it, put it.
I, all of everything that's happening right now, obviously you're in the majority that is saying that, it's going to be set in Punk WrestleMania. While that might still be very prevalent, I don't know. I'm looking at LA Knight right now, and I'm thinking, could they finally pull the trigger on LA Knight doing a Rumble win or an Elimination Chamber win? Either would kind of make it would make sense. I would
Well,
say.
it could, but the problem is here's where I think is gonna happen, and because I kind of got a feeling of how it's gonna get mapped out. Jay, for the moment, is going to be out of the title picture
Right.
because Jay is going to be focused on trying to get revenge for Roman with Bronson and Braun, which works.
Right.
Knight eventually will get that title shot. Again, I think it's going to happen at the Rumble. I think it's going to happen at the Rumble. He's going to come up short. Now, this is where it gets dicey because Cody's out. Tim and Drew are going to bang. It's just a matter of how long they bang. Because depending on how long they bang, I can make the argument Punk is winning the Rumble, Punk and Seth at 41, because at this point, there's no reason for Punk has kind of like the one-on-one rematch clause, but it would mean more for Punk to win the Rumble and main event Mania than to just get it, like, i.e. Elimination Chamber.
Right, and I agree with that, but I don't know, because with Punk and Rollins, the championship doesn't necessarily need to be attached for them to settle their issue. Punk, what needs to happen is Punk needs to make Seth Rollins go away. And, I was under the assumption, Hell in a Cell would be the perfect, way to end that. Whether or not the championship is, attached or not. I mean, you could do maybe LA Knight versus CM Punk at WrestleMania, but, I also feel like people want to see CM Punk actually win the main event of WrestleMania this time around. It would also make sense to do, Punk and Seth again at WrestleMania, just to kind of bookend, it was both matches were at, in Las Vegas. But again, you could do Seth and Punk Hell in a Cell at WrestleMania and have LA Knight chase whoever's holding the championship, the heavyweight championship at that time. It's all roads are leading. Seem like they're leading to Seth versus Punk at Mania for the heavyweight championship. But we could both agree that plans don't always go exactly the way that they usually do. No?
Card subject to change.
Right.
While that is true, I still, I think that's where they're going because I think the Seth Punk thing is the reason it clicks because it's not only a a wrestling thing; it's a real thing. So like, it's one, and it's like remember when I told you when what was it 40 right before 41 and Seth cut that promo and I was like, damn, I kind of see where he's coming from in the sense like he's fighting for the full timers that are, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And to me, that little inkling, that little inkling of him putting that reality into it is like what makes it a thing. And they're gonna have to attract seats. I think Punk Rollins main event night to WrestleMania.
Okay. Well, you know, WrestleMania plans don't necessarily start setting in stone until December of this year.
Yeah, after Cena leaves. No, I
Yeah,
say Survivor Series. Survivor Series.
but
After Survivor Series.
that's what that I think. Whoever that war games between the Vision and um team of individuals that are teaming up because they hate one guy. That match is going to tell you who is going to wrestle Seth Rollins and who's going to win what championship at what point. Whether that's Punk,
I beg to
LA
di-
Knight.
I beg to differ
I mean,
because I think the Vision's winning. I think the Vision's winning.
well, I mean, they could still
See,
win, but it's not about who wins the match. It's about who looks the best on the other side that makes WWE say this is the guy we're going for at WrestleMania.
well, here's the thing. War Games is usually 5 people.
Five. It's either 4 or 5.
I give it 5 because last time when it was the Bloodline, it was basically the Usos, Roman, Sammy, CM Punk.
That's
So
right.
that's 5.
Hmm.
So if you're thinking the 5, and I'm already calling it, it's going to be Punk, Roman, Jay, Knight, and the 5th is where it's iffy because it has to be someone who kind of has a grind to axe with them. So that's the only thing that's killing me is who is that 5th on that side.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you got the Vision, and they need 2. Now, Paul can pull. Keep in mind, the Vision is just its thing, and Paul can pull favors. So that's where I'm like, okay, where is he going to pull the string to get 2 people to give him a favor? Um, so that's how I'm seeing it. And the only way, may it's a long shot, but if John Cena is in this match, you know what I'm saying? It's out of pocket, but eh,
I don't think it's that out of
and
pocket.
it's out of pocket unless like a Logan jumps in. It can't be a Drew. I mean,
I mean, okay, hold on. I know if anything's going to be out of pocket, but would be like the coolest shit ever. If you have Roman Reigns, CM Punk, and Brock fucking Lesnar all on the same team. All 3 guys, somebody that Paul Heyman fucked over in the last like 2-3 years.
I mean, 4 years.
4 years, 5 years. He's fucked them over.
Right.
So, I mean, that could be the fifth guy on Brock on their team.
That is true, and I can also see Paul pulling a favor to get Brock on the other side. Brock is like this wild card. But we know we got four on anti-vision, and we got three with vision, and it's just a matter of finding the other three pieces that make it whole.
This sounds.
And that, I think, is going to happen after, I would think, heading into WrestlePalooza.
What do you think about Omos being a part of the Vision?
Nah, if I had my bet, and it was the longest of shots because they were trying to, because I remember Seth was saying he wanted to add a person who was disgruntled, and I would have had my money on Karrion Kross for that position, but obviously that's not going to happen.
I mean, it still could happen.
It could, but it's a push.
I mean,
big time push.
The ones that were rumored and innuendoed were Ricky Saints and Ethan Page.
Ricky Saints and Ethan Page.
Like, I can see Ethan Page because he is like a good heel, so he could definitely work well with the other guys in the group. Ricky Saints, I would say, is a bit more of an individual.
I keep Ethan Saints with what's his face? Chelsea Green. They're killing it.
Right. And that could be honestly a bit of a detriment to Ethan Page right now.
It could be. So I mean, to me, but it's tough. It's just trying to get the three, and that's the one. It's just trying to get those three. But back to the match, it worked. Everybody's playing their part, and now you see, like, even though the match ended, everyone has a gripe to get the one-on-one. LA Knight, to me, is going to push that to the heavens because he has every legit gripe to do so.
Right.
That's why I think he is the next challenger for the title. And I think once the whole Punk mixed tag thing goes, I can see Pierce giving him that rematch. Because he's going to say, yeah, I got this triple threat, or the Fatal 4-Way, but I want my one-on-one.
Right. How many stars do you give this?
This was a good 4.5. I mean, and Becky, we didn't even talk about Becky coming out of nowhere. Like, like Becky just popped her ass out of nowhere. When I saw that happen, I was like, this skinny bit. But everybody's yelling like she's like reeking for desperation, and I'm like, well, that's the other thing I don't get. It's like, why would she be reeking for desperation when she's legitimately married to the guy?
I mean, and it's not like it was the first time that they've teamed up together or that they've done something like this.
Yeah, this ain't the first time their real life shit hasn't popped on the screen.
Right. And I definitely feel like CM Punk and AJ Lee is a big, vast upgrade from Baron Corbin and Lacey Evans.
Although Baron Corbin did hit the end of days on her ass. See, I will say this. Baron Corbin, who is that? There was a big complaint on the IWC that Punk just was sitting back, not just taking it. And they're like, somebody needs to have him page Randy Orton and Baron Corbin because they gave no fucks. They gave no fucks. And I was like, you got a point there.
Yeah.
you, you, you kind of got a point there. I'm not, I'm not going to argue that one. That was, yeah. Yeah, you're pretty solid with that one.
Um, uh, I give this one 4.5 as well. I think that it did everything it needed to do properly and told a great story. Um, Uncle Dave, who? Uncle Dave, Uncle Dave.
Yeah, Uncle Dave.
3.5.
Actually, higher.
4.
Higher.
4.25.
4.25.
Okay, interesting. Alright. Show as a whole. Thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs in the middle.
Um, I would, me personally, I think the the 4 matches overshadowed the 2 lacklusters. So yeah, thumbs up. And the crowd, I mean, it's Paris, bro. You can't you can hate the crowd, but you can't hate on the crowd.
I'm in thumbs in the middle. Um, it was it was too long of a show for what they had and what they were doing. Um, they took a note from AEW and it did not work. So stick to the 3 hours, 3.5 if you really need to tell that extra story. Um, don't go to 4 hours for a show that's for transitional purposes.
I mean, it's WWE. Honestly, at this point, they are the game in town. Now with football back, it's going to be interesting. How they this is where they usually fall off.
Oh, SmackDown's
So
already did the worst ratings that they've done in for
yeah, because the NFL is on, and they had a game in Brazil, and the NFL came hard. They came hard. Not only did they have it on YouTube, they had all of YouTube's most popular streamers streaming the game. So it's one of those things where it was kind of a lose-lose from jump.
Yeah, and the same can
When
be.
I show speed, when the guy that WWE had in the Royal Rumble is streaming the NFL, yeah, you're fucked.
Yeah, I get that. It wasn't it wasn't necessarily worth noting that SmackDown and AEW did the worst ratings that they've done in quite some time. It kind
Yeah,
of
I could have
understandable.
told you that. That's why I watched it on Monday. Fuck, fuck it. I was watching. I mean, I'm a sports guy. College football, week 1, college football, and now week 1 NFL. And SmackDown's going against the Chargers and the Chiefs in Brazil with 5,000 or 4 of the popular streamers, and then they included Mr. Beast in it. With bro, it was it was destined. It was fucked from jump. I'm dead ass. They had a whole human field goal shit with Mr. Beast giving out tickets to the Super Bowl. Then you got I Show Speed streaming it, and a couple of these other popular YouTubers streaming it. It was fun. It was shit. You were done, son.
Well, that will conclude our coverage of WWE Clash in Paris, and we are wrestling with WWE Worlds Collide. Um, it's making a comeback because it was so popular in LA during riot season. Um,
You ain't lying, right? That is the proper phrase of the day. Riot season.
Uh, it takes place next Friday, or this upcoming Friday, at Paradise, Nevada, in Cox Pavilion at the Thomas and Mack Center. And
That's not Paradise. Thomas and Mack is in Las Vegas.
I'm just telling you what Wikipedia is telling me. And why would Wikipedia lie
I'm
to me?
Wikipedia lying because they goddamn Thomas and Mack is at the UNLV campus. That's the only reason I know.
Cox Pavilion at the
No.
Thomas and Mack Center.
UNLV.
Well, it says Paradise City,
Vegas.
Paradise, Nevada.
Vegas. That's Vegas, bitch.
Well, wherever it is, there's 6 matches. Very not an NXT eccentric so like there is definitely like a more incline of WWE wrestlers from the main roster, NXT, AAA. So this is very much more more diverse, I would say, is the best word. And obviously they're more into, the country than California, so there's not going to be ice anywhere around them, so nobody's getting deported. That's always a plus.
Oh shit, you tripping. You tripping. You tripping. They will roll in that bitch.
I would not have brought it up if literally ice was not like 2 blocks away from the last time.
From us.
Yes.
Yeah, they were like literally 5 blocks away from us. Like, why are all these ambulances running around?
Yeah, the last time worlds collided. It was two very different worlds colliding in 2 very different ways.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
Let's get into the Lucha Showcase 8-man tag team match. La Parca, Masquerita, Senagarada, Nino Hamburger, and Octagon Jr. versus Abismal Negro Jr., Lance Dorado, and Cruz del Toro, and Jacqueline Wild. Who wins, Kaliko?
I mean, I would think the team with Hamburguesa is taking the L.
I would usually agree with you, but I mean La Parca's on that team.
The new La Parca, not OG La Parca.
Yeah, this is La Parca 3, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, let's not WCW La Parca.
Yeah, the chairman La Parca.
Yeah. Torres ACL against Goldberg.
Oh my god, is that true?
The spear? You remember the spear? His leg was fucked. It was Dunzo. His leg was Lunzo after that, boy. That bitch was like cocked up. Oh God.
Fun
I'm
fact.
gonna have to find. I gotta find that clip. Now you gotta be looking for the clip, Mike. We're going to push this on we putting this on the podcast. We gotta find that clip. Man, the Parker got his ass worked.
Fun fact, the first time I saw Pentagon Jr., I thought that he was La Parca.
Oh God.
I'm not even joking. I was like, is this like a new version of La Parca or something? Because they look so similar. But, obviously, that was a very long time ago.
Yeah. I'm looking at it right now. Laparca's leg is lit. He's fucked. fucking leg is gone. Because he tried to do that walk, and then he turned around and bang! Nigga pulled that boy leg was gone.
Okay, I'm gonna have to look this up after this.
Because he hopped on one leg to do the jackhammer. Oh shit! I totally forgot about this spot, bro. Yeah, no, he was gone. He was gone.
So you're the side of the LWO.
Yes, LWO.
I'm gonna go with the side of La Parker and Octagon Jr. because Goldberg is not on the other side. That brings us to the next match, and that is a fatal four-way match for the AAA Latin American Exchange Championship match. Championship. El Hido del Dr. Wagner Jr. Versus Dragon Lee versus Ethan Page versus DJ McFunko. Who wins Coleco?
I mean, Dr. Wagner just got it. He's retaining.
I agree. Mixed tag match: Lola Vice and Mr. Iguana versus Roxanne Perez and Finn Balor. Who wins?
The puppets will win. Because that's basically what they're there for. So, I mean, Finn got it the last time. This is iffy because I see the other matches. I'm trying to remember. Oh, Lola Vice took the pin on Raquel. Raquel's not there, so
no. Raquel will be in.
I'm gonna go.
Side.
No, I'm talking about in the match. So I would go Mr. Iguana and Lola Vice.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And I'm not just saying that because whenever Lola Vice is in the match, I'm going with Lola Vice.
Oh Lord, he's like, I can't wait.
Okay. But there will be
match of the night, Lola Vice.
There will be puppets, and it will be quite arguably a 5-star match, in my opinion.
There will be El Demonito and La Yesca.
We're all doomed, in the words of JBL. I don't know if they're going to be the commentators, but I really hope that JBL and Conan are on commentary, because that was fucking hilarious.
They were. It was fucking It was a one. It was on one.
Right. Singles match to determine the number one contender for the AAA Rihanna Championship.
Reina de la Reina, Queen of the Queen.
That's what I said. Rihanna. Fabi Apache versus Natalia. Who wins?
Now this was interesting because they were beefing in the triple threat. Part of me thinks this is part of Natalia because I don't think it's Natalia. I forgot she's not Natalia in this match. She's like, I forgot what she called herself, Natty or something like that. I forgot.
Isn't she a low-key legend?
I mean, low-key legend, but I think, she looked good in that match, that triple threat. And I think Natalia gets the win to be the number one contender.
I don't know. I mean, it would make sense because Fabi actually goes to AAA to have, a AAA wrestler wrestle a AAA wrestler.
She
But,
go there. She
right, Fabi goes there, Natalia is just visiting on vacation.
I mean, that didn't stop fucking Legado del Fantasma.
I mean, true. Um, Honestly, yeah, it would probably be a higher profile match for, what was her name? Flamer to wrestle Natalia than Fabi.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's go Natty. Alright, AAA World Tag Team Championship match. Pangano and Psycho Clown versus Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods. Who wins?
Pagano and Psycho Clown.
Because Psycho Clown's putting in that good work to get that good WWE contract.
I mean, he's already there. Him and Iguana are there. It's a fucking formality at this point.
Oh yeah. And then we have AAA Mega Championship. El Hijo del Vikingo versus Dominic Mysterio. Who wins?
Now this is where it gets interesting because I could totally see Finn hating and costing him that title, and I could also see Dominic winning it straight up.
I agree with that.
I thought, like, it's like fuck. So I'm stuck. Like, okay, which one is more likely to happen? I think I'm gonna take a flyer, Dirty Dom, for the win because it would make more sense in the sense of what happened after the last show for Dominic to get the revenge on his father and win a belt that his father never won.
So, if this was,
I know I'm taking a flyer on that. That is a hell of a risk.
if this was in Mexico, like the last show, I would be more inclined to lean more towards Dominic winning the match because the crowd was so for him against Vikingo. But considering that this is going to be in America, and the American crowd is still kind of going 50-50 on Dom, leaning more towards the cheers than the boos at this point. I would maybe lean more. Would I lean more towards Finn costing him the match? Because wouldn't it make sense for. I mean, if you do Dom and Finn now, then you could have Finn versus Dom at Survivor Series. Because that would be a really big match for Dom, obviously in his home state, in his hometown. No?
True. I also think you wouldn't begin the Finn versus Dom until Liv is back.
When is Liv
Or is
supposed to come
close
back?
to being back. I mean, it's a dislocated shoulder, so. Or was it this? Was it the elbow or the shoulder? It was the shoulder.
It was the
So
shoulder.
yeah, roughly like 8. It was 8 to 9 months. Usually those are 8 to 9 months. So I would lean on Finn and Don battling against each other when it gets to Liv coming back because what's going to happen is JD's going to make a choice and Raquel's going to have to make a choice.
Right. But we already kind of know that JD is gonna go with Finn.
Yeah, the wild card is
Raquel.
Raquel.
Yeah. I don't know. I I feel like you could do Finn and Dom now and build it up to Survivor Series. So they have a proper blow off at Survivor Series.
I don't think. I would think that would go to Mania.
Let me ask you this: could Damian Priest and Finn Balor had gone to WrestleMania?
Could Damian and Finn go to WrestleMania? No, it stayed at SummerSlam because that's where it all started.
No, I mean when Finn Balor fucked over Damian Priest, could that have
at
gone
SummerSlam
until WrestleMania? That rivalry.
No, because the fuck over for Finn was at SummerSlam. That's why. So that's why I say for Finn, he got fucked. Because remember, this is petty Finn. Finn got fucked at SummerSlam against Seth. Remember? The throw in the towel.
Right.
It made sense to call it back the next year at SummerSlam. Same scenario.
So I'm going with Vikino wins the match. Finn Balor fucks over Dom, and they start that.
I mean, I think Finn's fucking over Dom by winning the title at Mania, but that's just me.
Finn Balor is not winning shit, and Finn Balor is not going to WrestleMania to wrestle Dom Mysterio. They're going to have one, possibly two blow-off matches. Dom's going to have something better to do at Mania than wrestle Finn, in my opinion.
Okay. Alright.
That will conclude our coverage of WWE AAA Worlds Collide in this episode as a whole. Thank you for listening. If you like what we're doing, please like, subscribe, comment, both on YouTube and Castbox. This was sponsored by Rogue Energy and Player One Coffee. Join us this Tuesday as we interview Verdugo, this Wednesday as we interview Academia, and join us every Tuesday and Wednesday for new incredible interviews. Follow the show at Wrestling with E on X, Twitter, and Instagram for information on who we're interviewing, when we're interviewing them, links to those interviews, and so much more. Follow me personally at JamesJ993. Where can we find Kaliko?
Oh man, I am Kaliko on X, whatever's left of X, and hey, on the YouTube, Kaliko Chronicles. I must say it's gaining a little traction, so hey, every view is good for me. I'm happy. Every view I appreciate, especially with the throwback. I did a throwback of 2018 Cody Rhodes versus Kenny Omega at Ring of Honor, Super Card of Honor in Louisiana, which was like crazy. That was a crazy highlight.
That was a good one as well.
I mean, that was the one time Cody got booed and people were like, fuck you. So between that and then Brandy taking the hit bump on the table, take a look. I can't give away the rest, but hey,
we're talking about Cody got booed. They booed the shit out of him during his Ring of Honor New Japan days.
In the beginning, yeah. I think in the beginning and towards the end, when he was getting, like, when he won the NWA title, it was a whole different story, right?
I mean, at the beginning of it, and when he started fucking over Kenny.
Oh, the beginning of it, yeah, they were booing the shit out of him. Hell yeah, Kenny Omega was the darling, and he was then what Logan Paul was now.
Wow, that is yeah, that's a full circle moment right there for sure.
Yes.
All right.
So yeah, I mean, you got that going, and then Money in the Bank. I'm digging through the crates. I'm about to go. I'm going all hard. I'm going hard all in.
For Coleco Yachts and Scooter Dust, I'm James J, and this has been Wrestling with Entertainment.
Post Malone fucking wrestling. Fuck that shit.
Hey folks, this is the Colossal Mike Law, and you are listening to Wrestling with Entertainment. Enjoy the show, support these guys. We appreciate it very much. We'll see you at ringside.